Hey everyone, this is David Allen Lambert, and I'm with Terry O'Connell. We're your virtual historians, and we're here for another fun-filled, exciting adventure down the world of virtual history using all sorts of technology that will come to you. And actually, this episode is starring Terry's adventure in Chicago. So I'm going to turn it over to Terry, and you can go ahead and tell us what you did. And then
I
that
love that. That was
fun will
good.
make more sense in just a second.
That was awesome. So we played tourist about a month ago, and we went to the Van Gogh Exhibit Chicago, down in the city towards the Chicago History Museum. And this was the best, like 3D kind of, maybe not 3D, but yeah, 3D virtual experience I've ever witnessed. I will tell you, I am not normally like a big art fan. I don't like going to the art museum. I find it very boring.
Sure.
I don't want to sit there and think about what they were trying to tell me. Like, just tell me what you want. Like, I'm not good into interpretive stuff.
Okay.
So
Did you have to wear a headset?
no headset. Literally, it was projection on all the walls around you and on the
Oh,
floor.
immersive then. Okay. Yeah.
Completely immersive. I think
Yeah.
it was like 4 different rooms, and we sat in a couple different rooms to get different views of it. And it was absolutely amazing to see these pictures transform as they went on, because it was like, if the painting was a picture of a tree with all these things going around, it's like the tree would start first and then other things would start to appear around it. So it totally gave you the feeling of he was actually sitting there painting it for you. And on some of the pictures, the recording was so close that you could see the brush strokes. I found
Oh,
it
really?
really
Wow.
fascinating that you could just see how it swirled and in the colors mixing together, the whites and the reds, and it becoming pink. And it's absolutely amazing. Again, not an art fan, but anything like this, I definitely would go and see it again. Go. Yeah.
Well, you go and see it again.
I would go and see it
Yeah.
again. Now,
Well,
here's the interesting thing I learned, because I did post about it on Facebook with some pictures.
mhm.
And in the Netherlands, his stuff there's no copyrights on it. So his work can be reproduced. But I guess now whoever's put this light show together, the copyright is on the show itself, not on the work. Right? Does that make
Interesting.
sense?
The style.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just the absolutely coolest thing. And now that since we're doing this, well, I want to say, weekly, every other week, but when we have a chance, my thought process as I sat there wasn't just about, wow, this art's amazing and it's great that you could see these brush strokes. I was thinking, how did they do this? How did they film it? How are they making it work?
Mhm.
There was one point where you started at the top of a picture and it scanned down and it was a brick wall. And you literally felt almost like you were on the Tower of Terror coming down.
Oh,
Because
really? That's
you,
strange.
like, I was like, whoa, um,
Vertigo.
yeah. But I'm telling you, well worth going to see. I know here in Chicago, they have different ticket levels. They have a regular entry and VIP entry. And I think here at off-peak hours, it's starting at $39.99 and peak is $49.99. But they also have VIP, so they pretty much walk you in, give you a lanyard, give you a bag of goodies. Like, so we have, because we did VIP, we have
Mhm.
3 Van Gogh posters. I don't know what I'm doing with them. They're all sitting in my room. And then some seat cushions, which it was very much appreciated, like, because you're sitting on like almost like wooden, like squares, just to make
Mhm.
seats for everybody. And then they had a couple chairs. So my daughter, she's like, oh, this is definitely a big difference. But I've used them here and I'm like at home on my swing in the back. And I'm like, oh, it's not enough comfort for me. The swing is better.
There you
Uh,
go.
but again, truly, truly fascinating. I know if you watch on Facebook, a lot of people are starting to post about it. Oh, we just got tickets. Oh, it's coming here.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's coming to Boston again. Apparently, it was already in
I don't know
Boston.
if it was here, if it was there, or if it's just coming. I know like people have said they're getting tickets. I've seen that in my friends list.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I'll have to check it out. It sounds fascinating. I think it's arriving in either December or January.
highly recommend it. Like, and you don't need all day. I mean, honestly, if you watch it in one room, you're good. Going in the other rooms is just going to give you different visions, because honestly, there's one part where it's a sun and the sun comes up on this end and goes down on this end, and then it keeps moving around the room. Um, so
I saw an art installation. It was kind of like that at the National Portrait Gallery in Washington. Gosh, must have been about 2 or 3 years back now, back when we all traveled. Uh, and it was like you walked into the room and art was like all around you, and it was almost very trippy, like 60s like, but it wasn't like psychedelic
mhm.
trippy. It was just kind of just the use of the color and the lights and flowers and things like that. It was very immersive. So that would be very cool. Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh is definitely an amazing 19th century artist, and someone I would definitely check out. So that
I
is cool.
It is cool, and I honestly, I didn't really. I mean, I didn't know much about him. He cut his ear off, right? That was it. That's what I knew.
At
um,
least you're honest.
Again, art was never my thing. I just,
Yeah.
it's
Are
like
you one of those
poetry.
kids that just drew stick figures?
Oh yeah, can't, and they're bad, and they're bad.
We
No,
have a virtual walkthrough of Terry's stick figures on the next episode of Virtual History. We're going to actually make you want to return your virtual headset as you walk through Terry's art gallery.
I would tell you this: my senior year, I took a art class and I did a lot better. I do have some cool things from it, a couple of cool things, but it just was never my cup of tea. Again, I don't like having to interpret what somebody's trying to say.
Mhm.
It just was never. I mean, the same with poetry. It never caught me. Like, I give me a book, tell me what it is. I'll visualize
Yeah,
myself.
well, you're a genealogist and a historian, so facts are
Yes,
important.
exactly. Good point. Good point.
Mhm.
Good point.
You don't think in abstract.
I don't. I don't. So it was really cool. I do have a lot of videos and pictures, and I'm going to, pardon me, my eyes hurt. It's getting late here.
It's all right.
um, I'm going to actually pull them all together and set them up on our Patreon page, because we're going to get that moving. So if you want to see some background stuff, that's
Mhm.
where you'll be able to get it. I've got quite a few little video clips I did, and many pictures, because they were very much take pictures, take videos, do as you wish. And I was like, wow, that's really weird.
So you're gonna have to offer one of those posters or seat cushions to a Patreon member who gets us another Patreon member.
There you go.
There
We
you
could have a
go.
little contest. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I will tell you, and I've not seen this yet, but the Sistine Chapel also has a exhibit here in Chicago,
Oh,
where you go and you walk in and it's just like you're walking in through the chapel. I've never been there. That's next year's plans, hopefully. But we
well,
have
you
to.
don't want to ruin it then. You want to go to the
No,
Sistine.
no, I'm still gonna go, because what happens if COVID's still around and I can't go?
Well, yeah, because we don't want virtual COVID besides having real COVID. That would not be good.
So I'm gonna make sure I go and see it just in case. You're not allowed to video and take pictures there. And I will tell you this: my oldest went to Italy her senior year, and this was just when like the smartphones were coming out, and she literally like had hers on record and held it like this.
Mhm.
So it was facing up, and took a little video and sent it to me. She's like, "Mommy, I knew you'd want to see this."
Oh, that's amazing.
I was like, "Oh, you're such a bad girl."
Oh, yeah, I accidentally videotaped him inside the White House. I'm like, live coming up from the White. I'm like, oh shit!
Oh, oops. Yeah,
I accidentally video. Okay,
go ahead.
I accidentally videotaped years ago in the White House when you're not supposed to with my smartphone. And I'm like, the carpet where the president walks down. I'm like, hey, I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. But I didn't delete the video.
Oh, that's good. It's like second nature now, right? Like, you have to capture everything you're doing. You got to get a selfie. You got to check yourself in. You've done this. You've done that.
I'm not the one that takes pictures of all their food, though. There are some friends who
Oh, I
take
don't do
a
that.
picture of every meal. And I'm like, is it less calories that way? You
I only
know,
do that if I'm traveling, because that's a good like, look at all the great food we had. Like on the cruise ship,
that's true.
I definitely take pictures of my food.
Oh,
But
yes, that's right. You're about to go cruising again, aren't you?
I am.
Congratulations. Welcome to the world of travel again.
So
But
excited.
on that note, if you haven't gone traveling lately and you have that travel itch, Terry, why don't you tell them about the exciting news for next year and the year after next?
So next year, David and I are doing a transatlantic, September the 2nd, I believe it's the 2nd or the 4th.
Yeah.
So we're going from Copenhagen to New York City. It's 15 days.
Yeah.
It hits Ireland, and it's what's the anniversary in Ireland?
100th anniversary.
Yes. Yes.
Centenary.
So that'll be exciting to be able to step on the grounds. I believe it
Yeah.
hits Belfast.
Yes. Yeah, Belfast and Dublin, and it goes to the Azores.
No, not Dublin. I think it's Cove and Belfast, I believe.
Oh, Belfast and Cove. Okay.
And then it goes to the Azores. So it'll be exciting. So we'll get to see a couple new places, have some on-ship learning, but also time to enjoy the ship. And maybe if there's time or any great stories out there, we might do some recording for virtual historians on the ship as well. So
Very cool.
that should be really fun. More fun to travel with.
Yes.
And then in 2023, March of 2023, March 12th to be exact, we are doing the Caribbean with Sherry Hudson Passey's Gen Friends. And within that group, it'll be Sherry, Laura Hedgecock, and Dan Earl.
Yeah. And me. And you.
Well, I said we.
Yeah, we. Yes, that's true. That's you did.
We, me, and you. And we're going to the Caribbean.
Warm weather.
I don't remember all the ports off the top of my head, but Jamaica was one of them. And I think that one's out of Fort Lauderdale.
And I will not be getting dreadlocks. I can tell you that much.
No.
I don't have enough.
Get you some extensions first.
Oh gosh, no, I couldn't do that to anybody who wears dreadlocks.
No.
That's not nice. No. Nobody needs to deserve to see a guy with thinning hair and dreadlocks. Many levels, and that you virtually can't unsee that. So
no, you virtually can't. So that'll be fun. On that one, we'll be doing 2 days of learning while we're at sea, and then in the evenings, if people would like consultations, we'll set some of those up. And again, maybe some recordings here. Maybe Sherry might do some recordings for her Gen Friends. I have I'm not sure what her plan is for that. So that should be a fun one too. They're a fun group, and if you haven't watched any of their stuff, if you haven't watched any of their videos, Gen Friends.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
Yeah, again, that's on a genealogy side of things. Right now, they're covering relative race week to week with some of the participants or past participants, so that's always good. But that's a good show to watch as well. So lots of great things coming ahead for us. We just gotta keep at it.
Exactly. And hey, if you have ideas for an episode, or you think that you'd like to be on the show, we're always looking for exciting new stories and exciting new guests. So please keep us informed of what you're doing. May it be archaeology, history, genealogy, virtual reality, or any of the above. Let us know. Well, I think that's about wraps up this episode of Virtual Historians. And don't forget, you can reach us at virtualhistorians.com or VR Historians on Twitter. And I know you can also reach us on what else, Terry?
Oh, everywhere. We're everywhere. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We've started Patreon. It's not really up and running, but it will be hopefully by the end of this week if I get it done before I leave.
Don't forget to pack. That's important.
Patreon, I know, I got to pack.
It's important. Buying stuff on the boat itself gets to be a little costly.
I'm not doing that. Okay. So it's a short trip, but it's well needed.
There you go. Well, bon voyage, and hope to see some of you folks on our upcoming cruise with Terry and I and others. And but more importantly, we hope to see you on our next episode. So do spread the word. We really appreciate you. And until next time, we're virtually yours. Have a good night.
For those of you watching on YouTube, remember you can also find us on the audio podcast of your choice. Currently, we can be found on Anchor, Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. And for those of you listening on audio, remember you can always find the full video recording on our YouTube channel. And if you like this episode, please feel free to leave a comment on the website or on YouTube. As always, you can find us at virtualhistorians.com. You can email us at info@virtualhistorians.com. And we ask that you please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you.